Hi friends, I'm Colonel Failure. This is Get Back to Work, a series where work commences and I continue working on it. I'm in the farming simulator today. It's December, it's very early in the morning. I've got a field to prepare for a bit of planting in a couple of months' time. You know, it's a job. It's a living. You've got to get up and make these things. Bit of fertilisation, bit of lime. That's what we're up to there. Anyway, David's got a question for me, and I'm going to answer it with my face. Right, I've made a few changes since we were last on the farm. I bought some more gear. I've got this muck spreader, which we're about to make use of, which is delightful, to go along with the old slurry tank there. That's also probably going to see some action today. I got rid of the steer skid that I had up here, and I've got this Forky Boy going on instead there. It's terrific. The Forky Boy does the job perfectly. I figured out that I needed something that can do a bit of this action. Right, hang on. Lots of mouse needed there, and then can also do a bit of that action as well. And it does all of that. And if I get bored of the thing on the front, I can just get shot of it and put something else on. But by and large, the old bale fork there is pretty much all we need. And teleport. Great. So anyway, I'm not doing any of that. I just thought I'd show you because I was here. I've done a little bit more terraforming, gradually getting around to decorating the whole joint. But that's what we're looking at today. Actually, it's one of the bits that I've added. Is I've added a new growing area, and we need to go and, you know, all of that. Yeah, so we'll go and do all of that. I just need to hook this bad boy up. There you go, get hooked up. Fill the tank. Super. The cows are all breeding quite nicely. To be honest, the whole thing's going really, really well. As cake makes good money, not quickly, but it makes good money. I mean, such is the surplus of the goods I've got going into cake that I end up, you know, flogging a couple of pallet loads of that once or twice a year. It's pretty splendid. But no, I'm very happy with my farm. Anyway, here we are down at Cakeville, and this is where we're operating. I think that there's nothing finer you could do than to just hose down this field. Now, part of me goes, well, no, actually, part of me went, because I was trying to decide what to plant here. I was going, should I just plant something that you only need a little bit of? And I went, no. I'm going to plant corn here, because I've never done corn before. Yeah, I know, it's not a massive cornfield, is it? I don't really envisage it making a massive amount of money, but hey, whatever. Right, let's hose it with poo, and then after the poo runs out, we'll go back and get some more poo, and we'll hose it down with that poo too, and then we're going to put some lime on it, and everybody will be happy. Work in progress. All this cliffside stuff, it'll look better when I'm done, and I know that with absolute confidence, because I'm very pleased with how some of my other cliffside modelling expertise have gone. Anyway, let's get to the question, shall we? Comes from David, and he says, "Hi, Colonel." He knows my name. I grew up watching wrestling with stars like Hulk Hogan, The Ultimate Warrior, and my personal favourite, The Undertaker. If you were a wrestling god, what would your character be? And what would be your entrance / pyro? Oh dear. Back when, you know, for old people, when you know who the wrestling was. Now, the problem with watching wrestling in the UK growing up was that really the only place to get it was ITV on a lunchtime on a Saturday, just before Dickie Davis and the World of Sport. And I'm not even kidding. That's a thing. That's yep. That was a thing. And they used to show bits of wrestling, but not so much that you could get the whole story. If you wanted to become an avid follower. This is American wrestling. British wrestling was fine but rubbish. Yeah, no, you can fight me on that, but it was fine but rubbish, with the likes of Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks. Yeah. No, but if you wanted the American wrestling, you really only the option only really came in after the advent of Sky TV, which was our first kind of satellite broadcaster, and they had the WWF as it was at the time, the artist formerly known as WWF, now the WWE, because the World Wildlife Fund already existed and had got there first to the extent that Vince McMahon could do nothing about it. And we were not a Sky TV household. No, we don't. That was just not something that came our way. Which is a shame. It meant that you'd catch flashes of The Simpsons when you went round to your mate's house, but that was about your lot. What's going on here? Oh, I've got to plough all this under, or at least cultivate it a bit. But this is my sugarcane field, which I've expanded. Sugarcane's just such a pain in the behind. I think I am going to. I mean, it's tempting to switch to sugar beet, but I think more likely is I splash out the 400 and some odd grand on a sugar cane harvesting tractor machine, because the one that you attach to the back of your regular tractor is a load of old rubbish. I don't know how anyone can use it. You waste so much crop in turning and clipping through it and so forth. You're wasting rows of it at a time. Maybe you're not supposed to do maybe you're not supposed to densely pack it in the way that I do. Well, whatever. I'm not pleased about it. So, I'm registering my objection right flipping now. I digress. Wrestling. So, no, I was never much of a wrestling fan. And, I was never that bothered about, oh, it's fake. You kind of go, it might well be staged in the sense of choreographed, but there's nothing fake about it. Yeah, the slaps and the chops and the kicks and the back breaks and all of that kind of business. Yeah, they do not do the damage that they would actually do, but equally, the fights would be quite short if that's what they were going for. And I think MMA has rather proved that doing manoeuvres on people that are actually quite dangerous, or at least designed to inflict pain and harm, leads to quite a short fight. And wrestling has always been about the spectacle, but the athleticism that goes into it is incredible, and therefore, as a spectacle, it really does rather well. As far as this commentator is concerned, it's a magnificent piece of entertainment. I wouldn't go quite so far as to say it's wholesome, but as a piece of entertainment, yeah, get in, go for it. Yeah, wholesome it probably isn't. So, what manner of wrestler would I be? Would I be one of the heroic characters, a face, I believe they call them? Would I be a face, or would I be a heel? Well, regrettably, I would probably be a face. Yeah, no, is it a face? Yeah, because you get the face turn when they turn heel. Are you sure about that? I'm sure enough that I'm willing to continue the story without dwelling on it any further. Okay, right, crack on then. And in terms of characteristics, I'd be a shouty one. Oh, you've got to guarantee that. I mean, I've got a gob on me, so obviously I'd be a shouty one. I had a brief think about this, and I think my signature move would probably be the bull charge or similar, because that would very much tie into my own sporting prowess back when I had it, which was being quite hard to bring down. And once my legs get moving, now I'm quite hard to bring down. Used to be, and obviously one of the things that you have to get used to as you get older is your mental self-image, rather like Neo in the old Matrix there, is one where you can still do all those things that you could do when you were up to your kind of mid-20s. And the painful truth is, oh no, you can't. No, those days are behind you. Young people bend, whereas older people, they snap. Yeah, that's just so you have to get over the notion of, oh no, I could still do it, and you kind of go, no, you couldn't. I mean, putting aside things like a total absence of stamina, No, that's just not something that you're going to get to play with. This field is a shambles, but you can fertilise it any time you please, and all will be well. I think my next manoeuvre will be to go and get some kind of plough and or furrowing device and get to work on this, and then I'll lime it afterwards. I've got a lime up the next deck anyway, so lime is definitely something that's going to occur soonish. But you know, let's cover it in the good stuff, and I'm not bothered about 100% coverage. Nah, that doesn't faze me too much. This is mostly about just get decent coverage, because that way you're buffing your yields ever so slightly. Yields of your fields. That's what we care about, but only ever so slightly. You don't want massive yields of your fields caring, because nobody else cares. Right, where was I going? Yeah, so some kind of bull charge type thing, which would be rather like a clothesline in motion, but without using the old clothesline itself, and instead going for just a shoulder charge. Yeah, that'd do it. And it would be my signature move, and you'd have to do some kind of warm-up action, possibly imitating a bull of some description, so that the commentators could go, "Oh my goodness, he's warming up. Is it going to be the bull charge? Oh, and he's not seen that coming at all, and he's been hit square in or whatever, and he's been flipped over the top rope, and that would be it. Classic manoeuvre delivered classically." And yeah, and the crowd goes wild. Now, unlike the thing with the WWF was that's what would Worldwide Wrestling Fund do. They did actually have a couple of British wrestlers on there. You had Lord Stephen Regal, who was, and the British Bulldog, who was. I mean, they were both embarrassing, frankly. And this is to take nothing away from their athletic prowess. They both had plenty of athletic prowess, but Lord Stephen Regal would have never had a lordship because he was an oik. No, he wasn't posh in the slightest. And you only have to be from this country to go, yeah, he's not a posho, he's a working class lad. No, I mean, that's not a problem, but to call yourself Lord Stephen Regal, I think is maybe gilding a lily, and actually, you know, you're describing a stinging nettle as a lily in the first place. So yeah, it's not even gilding, it's outright lying. And the British Bulldog had, oh yeah, he had the tightest Spyro perm you could possibly imagine, that he then coated in the outpourings of the Exxon Valdez, and it just wasn't a good look. Yeah, the two British wrestlers that they had were frankly not a good look, either of them. No. So I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, the thing is, I could probably pull off a Lord Stephen Regal if I wanted to. If I wanted to appear to be posh, I could probably put that on reasonably well. Because just so you know where I sit in the socio-economic strata of the UK, I've got the advantage to begin with in that I'm a southerner, and therefore that's where you get Castle and Bath and all of that kind of behaviour from. And yes, it is Bath, because that's what the people from Bath pronounce it as. Equally, if you're in Newcastle, it is Castle and not Castle, because there you go. But a castle that was in Newcastle would be a castle. Yeah, I know, but it's the R sounds in those words that lead you towards the southern accent versus the north. That's how you can tell. So Americans have all basically got northern accents. Yeah, that's unsurprising given the migratory patterns that happened when all of our lunatics left this sceptred isle and went to the American colonies. Yeah. Right, where are you going? I had a notion that I was going to go and fertilise down here, but of course it occurs to me now, not only have I already planted here, and therefore I'd be destroying the crop by mucking it, but also I think I mucked it earlier. Oh, well, should we fold her on up then? Yes, fold her on up and put her away. Alright, do you want to fold her on up without swerving all over the road? Well, I see that largely as optional. Now, I've built this. Now, this is work in progress. All this area that hasn't got anything, you know, not even a shrubbery in it, that's area I haven't yet attended to, and you can see that by that bit of haven't quite finished smoothing that out yet. Yeah, so I don't know what my character name would be, but obviously if a bull charge is my main my main event with regard to a move as such, then it would have to be, you know, the bulldozer or I don't know. I mean, maybe it would be Denzel Flapping Gums or something. I don't know. It would be, you know, Sir, yeah, because you're British and therefore you have to play into nobility in some fashion. So it'd be Sir Charge-a-Lot, Sir Monkey Bones, or whatever. I'm not even bothered. I'd let their branding experts come up with what would play best and sell the most merchandise, and that's perfectly acceptable. Yeah, but I'd be into all the pointing. Yeah, could totally do all the pointing, all of that kind of business. Yes, all of that. Yeah, that's very much a lifestyle I'm into. Right, I've got to go and find my plough, and I'm not entirely sure where I left it. I've already got the weight on the front, so I'm geared towards this type of operation. Yeah, I deliberately went halfway over the edge there, just for a frisson of danger. So what would my entry music be? Oh, now, you know, the temptation is to choose something that you like, right? You're going to hear it a lot, or something incredibly obvious. Oh no! If it's the Charger, no, I know where I'm going. I know exactly where I'm going because I've picked my entry music and I know the exact perfect song that I'll have with my entry music. Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's it would be the Hard Charger, right? That's the name of my dude. Is the Hard Charger, and my entry music is going to be The Power by Snap. Yeah. Oh yeah, because you got power and charging. See, there's a synergy going on there in the motif that we're setting up. Yeah, I mean, as it happens, I do quite like The Power by Snap. I think it's a mighty fine bit of tune, despite the fact that the old rap section in the middle of it is woeful. That's neither here nor there. That an interesting piece of trivia for you, Snap fans. If you're not familiar with the tune, go look it up. It'll be on the YouTube all over the place, and then you'll go, oh, this one. Yeah, I got The Power. Anyway, the hippity hop artist who was doing the rap in the middle of Snap his name was Turbo B, right? And he earned that name while in the Marine Corps because he raps so fast. And the thing is that in all of the rapping that you hear Turbo B doing in any kind of a professional environment, you kind of go, this guy raps at a snail's pace. Yeah, no, he's really not great at it, but he's good enough, and that's the bit that matters. So yeah, Turbo B name does not suit the no, you've dropped that on the floor. That's not what you wanted. You want to do a bit of this, yeah. And then you can press that button as well if it makes you feel better. Good. And let's get ploughing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing better than when your field's freshly ploughed and it all looks the business. And then you look back and you go, I missed three flipping pixels worth. I've got to go back and do that again. I should possibly invest in a better plough, you know, something a bit wider. But to make the best use of it, I'm going to need a big fat tractor. At the moment, I've got one tractor rated as small and one that is rated as medium. I think the time will come. I think my aspiration is going to be to actually buy some more land that has a quote-unquote normal field on it, so that I can plant some big crop in there, like corn. That's why I'm experimenting with corn, and I think I'll experiment with sugar beets and potatoes and cotton and all of that kind of stuff to open some more gameplay options. The brief dalliance I had in this series, if you could call it such, with growing grapes, led me to go, stuff that. Yeah, can't be bothered with it. It's too much faff. I have enough faff going on with my sugar cane, so replacing that with sugar beets seems like a reasonable idea. But I haven't yet fallen to a decision on that front. But then you see, I can get a truck and a trailer, obviously, to go on the back of the truck and do some really exotic big works. I'm all about exotic big works these days, as I'm sure you're aware. So yeah, Snap, the power would be my coming in tune. Yeah, because where I was going is you either choose a tune that you like, or you choose one that the audience will like, right? Because that way you can get them amped, and they like that. And you go, well, in which case you want some hard rock, and you kind of go, oh yeah, I mean hard rock, yeah, fine. Yeah, well, if you were going to go hard rock, then you could use the AC/DC and still keep up your power battery motif there, charging and all of that. AC/DC, that works. In which case, what are you going for? You go Thunderstruck, don't you? Obviously, I mean, there's nothing else you can go for. Yeah, well, I'd need to change up some of my moves in order to have a Thunderstruck kind of a move in there somewhere. But yeah, no, that'll get the crowd right up there, right up. But I think the power by Snap would probably do the job. What about the pyros to enter with? I'd want a couple of Tesla towers doing their thing. In fact, yeah, I mean, basically, I'm largely theming my my character around a Disneyfied Lord Raiden from Mortal Kombat. And when I play Mortal Kombat, I always play as Raiden. Ever since the first game, always play as Raiden. Back forwards. Yeah, that does this electrical thing across the screen. Back forward. Yeah, it's incredibly effective. Or you've got diagonal down towards. This is little lightning bolt effort. Yep, that works too. Good. Yeah. And then I think it might be down up or down up down. Does his little teleport and turn up somewhere else, which is also a delight. Yeah, I would quite like some of those moves, to be honest, but I don't think you have to actually be able to physically pull them off. And with all the well in the world, I don't think I could pull one of those off without requiring quite the suspension of disbelief from both the opponent and viewing public. So I can't see that really happening. Not effectively. No. So there you go, David. I think that's my take on things. Is I'd do that. Who would I partner with in a tag team match? Is a question you didn't ask but should have done. I'd probably go with Ultimate Warrior, to be honest, because Ultimate Warrior was a complete and utter lunatic. Either that or maybe Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah, because he was also a little bit... or maybe... Oh, no, you could get a whole storyline about me using my electrical powers to put the Ultimate Warrior right in the head. And it could be completely normal. Yeah, that would be working. Are you saying that you believe electrotherapy can sort people's loud and rambunctious personalities out? No, I don't necessarily hold with that belief, but I think in terms of popular narrative, it certainly plays. So shut up and stop taking everything so seriously. And then everything is better about life. So there you are, David. I'm gonna carry on ploughing this field, and I tell you, when I next do one of these episodes, I'll probably still be ploughing this field because I'm going to record it in about 5 minutes' time. So, so there's that. But those who haven't tuned into this one won't know that, see? And therefore, ooh, dangerous-ish, kind of. Thanks very much for watching. Great question. I enjoyed that one. That was silly. I'm in Colonel Failure. The Get Back to Work queue is closed. I am taking no further invitations at the moment. My intention in the future, just so you know where I'm going with this, because I haven't said where I'm going with this, is this series has largely served the purpose of giving me something easy to record while I remounted the horse after taking an extended break, and to get my creative juices flowing, where I don't have to think too much. And work simulations are great for not having to think too much. And if someone else is suggesting the topic of conversation, then I could just unspool my brain and let it go, which is exactly what has happened. But such has the popularity of this series been that I will reintroduce it on a very limited fashion once a year, maybe opening 5 or 6 slots in the queue in total, so that it doesn't drag on. I think this one it's gone on a little long, even though each of these cherished precious gem videos are cherished and precious gems in their own right. Why have I left that gap? For reasons. You'll have to watch the next one to find out. I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching. Cheerio.